So now that you've done that, we're going to go to the next step, and that's basically you want to identify the right fit patients for your podiatry practice. And there's really 3 areas you need to look at to do this. The areas include, when you're the go-to, what areas of practice do you love? What are the areas of podiatry that you love and you feel like you are the go-to expert in? Is that wound care? Is it sports medicine? Do you like the practice management side of practice? Do you like doing surgery? Really understanding what you value and what you get professional joy out of is a great place to start. It's not the only thing, but that's a great place to start because you want to be excited about going to work every day. So having a little bit of an internal inventory or some self-reflection about what you really like about podiatry and the patients you like to treat is the first step. The step after that is, knowing kind of with your experience, your levels of qualification is like, what are the patients you can take care of the best? Not only is it the type of procedures that you can do, but do you like treating, the senior citizens that are still trying to maintain active lifestyles? Are you more into treating pediatric patients? Is it that young professional person training for a marathon? Knowing that kind of demographic or the activity level of the people you want to treat also kind of helps you determine, what that kind of right fit patient is for you in your practice. Also, you have to make sure that those 2 things have some kind of footing in the financial realities of where you are in your practice. Just because you love treating runners, maybe you're in an area that running is not a big deal. So you have to be kind of cognizant of the financial realities of your practice and those kind of right fit patients. If you don't have enough right fit patients kind of in your local area, you may not be able to niche down so hard. But if you live in a place like New York City or Chicago, you can really focus in on those kind of target patients where you think you can really provide the best care for them and translate that into your online presence and your offline presence, and making sure that whatever you're doing is helping grow your practice. So for example, this kind of transition from specialty down to niche, I'll show you a couple examples. One would be, you're a podiatrist, that's our specialty, but you want to do sports medicine. Maybe it's even to the level where you want to treat only runners. And there are some examples of people doing that. Like I said, it requires probably being in a suburban or a larger urban area, but there's no reason if you're in a small town, you can't show that this is an area of practice where you are the expert, and there's ways of showing that to your local community. Also within podiatry, a lot of us do surgery. So, not only you're a podiatrist, but you're a foot and ankle surgeon. Does your website show you in scrubs? Does it show you performing procedures? Are there before and after photos on your website? So these things will kind of translate you from kind of being that specialty of podiatry into kind of that area of niche practice where you want to have more patients from. And why I say this kind of right fit patient or niche is important is that you don't want to look like everybody else. This is an example of a website that I pulled up. I can't tell exactly what their area of focus is. I think it's okay to be a generalist and it's okay to treat everything, but when you're putting something into the world, you really want to show yourself, your staff, you treating kind of your ideal patient. There's some runners on this page, so maybe there's a sports medicine angle to the practice, but there's a lot of different treatments and a lot of different symptoms that are on this page that don't really kind of show a potential patient what you are the expert in. Like I mentioned, you want to kind of be the purple cow in this example. This guy named Seth Godin has written a book about this, but you really want to stand out and you really want to show people kind of what you're all about because, whether it's through the images you use and those things, you really want to show them that you are the go-to expert. Because if you're just kind of a vanilla website like every other person or the podiatry clinic down the street, they're not going to know who to choose. So by kind of developing a niche or kind of developing kind of an ideal kind of patient for your practice, you kind of separate yourself from the competition in the local area. And also when you decide kind of who your right fit patient is, this is an example of a website in Chicago, the Running Institute. It's very clear based on what their website is, kind of who they want to treat and the kind of procedures, the type of care they're going to provide. There's no kind of mistaking it from someone else down the road. If you're a runner and you're injured and you see this podiatry website versus another podiatry website, this one's going to speak to you very loudly. And this, like I mentioned, like when you develop this niche or this right fit patient, that doesn't mean you're only going to treat those patients. You know, you need to kind of differentiate yourself from a marketing or kind of an online presence perspective. But if someone calls in with an ingrown toenail or a bunion, you can still treat those patients, but you really need to send a clear message out to the world about who you are and what type of patients you want to treat.